Welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're looking at a real RC legend, the Tamiya Frog.
Yep, good old frog.
But we're not just looking, we're really digging into the engineering, specifically that front suspension. We've got some great articles, notes, historical context here.
And the goal, I guess, is to figure out why that design was, well, both groundbreaking and kind of fragile.
Exactly. And, how the RC community, the aftermarket, really stepped up to fix it and even unlock more performance. It's a neat story.
It really is. It tells you a lot about materials, design flaws, and user innovation. So where do we start? The chassis.
Yeah, let's start there. The Frog used the ORV chassis, right? Tamiya's off-road vehicle platform.
That's the one. Revolutionary for its time, that ABS plastic space frame. Super light.
And it was the base for the BRAT, the Blackfoot monster beetle. Great for sharing parts.
Definitely clever from a manufacturing standpoint, but that ABS plastic.
Ah, yes. The Achilles heel, you could say, especially up front.
Pretty much. ABS is light and easy to mold, but it can be brittle. Doesn't handle impacts or stress points very well over time.
The Frog's front-end design was already a bit unusual.
Very unique. That single lateral spring tucked inside the chassis, no real damping, just bouncy.
Gave it that distinctive look and feel, though.
It did. Okay, so inside that front setup, there's this key part. The MR2 radius arm. It's that steel rod, right?
Yeah, the one running back from the front arms towards the middle. I think a lot of people assume that's like a main suspension arm defining travel.
That's the common mistake, yeah. But its real job, its primary function, isn't suspension travel. It's actually a steel structural brace.
A brace. Okay, explain that.
Think of it like reinforcement. Its job is to handle the big push-pull forces, the longitudinal loads. You know, when you hit something head-on or land a jump, or even just brake hard.
Ah, so forces trying to rip the front suspension forwards or backwards off the chassis.
Exactly. Those forces would normally go straight into the little plastic pivots where the wishbones attach. With the brittle ABS, they'd just snap.
Okay.
So this steel radius arm takes those fore and aft loads and transfers them deeper into the main chassis structure, which can handle it better.
So it's about structural integrity, not suspension movement.
Yeah.
Got it. And weren't these arms different on some models? The notes mention that?
Sharp eye, yes, that's a key detail. The steel radius arms themselves are actually different lengths between the buggies, Frog, and BRAT and the trucks.
The Blackfoot and monster beetle.
Right. Because the trucks needed bigger tires, Tamiya tweaked the front geometry.
Needed more clearance, I guess.
Yeah, and that meant they needed slightly different length radius arms to keep the bracing effective. The truck part number is specific. 19804905 shows they really thought about the geometry changes.
Okay, fascinating. So you had this important steel brace. But where does it connect at the front? This is where the problem comes in, right?
This is the weak link. It connects to the H1 bumper mount piece.
And that H1 piece is made of?
That same brittle ABS plastic.
Oh.
Yeah. So this one small ABS part has to do two jobs. Take direct hits to the bumper and handle all the load being transferred by that steel radius arm. It's like guaranteed to fail under stress.
Tamiya used some nice hardware for the pivot itself, though, didn't they? Like that BA1 step screw.
They did. The BA1 screw, the BC6 washer. It's a precise pivot point. Tamiya's good at that stuff.
But the precision of the screw doesn't matter if the thing it screws into breaks, right?
Exactly. The anchor point itself, the H1 mount, was the failure. The material choice and the double-duty load, it was just asking too much of the ABS.
Which naturally leads us to the aftermarket heroes, Proline CRP.
They saw the problem and came up with, honestly, a really elegant fix. Two main things.
Okay, what's number one?
Material. Simple but huge. They ditched the ABS for nylon.
Nylon. Much tougher, more flexible.
Way tougher. High impact resistance. Nylon can flex and absorb energy where ABS just cracks. Huge durability boost right there.
Makes sense. And the second thing?
Structure. Instead of that separate, weak H1 piece, they integrated the bumper and the radius arm mounts into one single, solid nylon part.
Ah. So the radius arm now anchors directly into the strong nylon bumper structure itself.
Precisely. It eliminated the weak link entirely. A much, much stronger design overall.
So tougher material, smarter structure, solved the braking issue.
Yes, but the cool thing is, it did more than just stop things from breaking.
How so?
When they design these new bumpers, they often tweak the geometry just slightly, and this created more tire clearance up front.
Oh, right. I remember reading about that. The stock Frog couldn't fit wider front tires without them rubbing on the suspension arms or chassis.
Exactly. These aftermarket bumpers moved things just enough to allow racers to run wider front tires.
Which meant better steering.
significantly better steering grip, and that directly led to things like the popular BRAT attack setup, putting wider tires on for better handling.
Huh. That's brilliant. Fixing one problem opened up tuning possibilities.
It's a perfect example. Durability leads to being able to push the car harder, which enables tuning, which improves handling, looks cooler. It just deepens the whole hobby
It's a
experience.
whole chain reaction from one improved part.
It really is.
So let's bring it back to someone with a frog today. He's got one sitting pristine on a shelf.
Keep it stock. Absolutely. For authenticity, you want the original parts, flaws included.
But if you actually want to drive it, run it, bash it.
Then an aftermarket style nylon bumper, something like the old CRP ones that integrates those radius arm mounts. It's pretty much an essential hop-up. Mandatory, really.
For durability and performance.
Yeah, it transforms the car's usability and lets you actually have fun with it without constant breakages.
It's amazing how much you can learn just by looking closely at one small part of the design, isn't it? Lessons about engineering compromises, material science.
And how the users, the community, can drive innovation. They saw the problem, they demanded a fix, and the aftermarket delivered.
Which makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday things or parts in other hobbies have these hidden stories, these overlooked components with design flaws and clever fixes?
Yeah, definitely something to think about. What else out there has been subtly improved over the years without us even noticing?
Food for thought. Well, thanks for digging into this with us.
My pleasure. It was fun.